But sometimes you learn.
Hello. The meeting hasn't started yet, but it's good that. Hello, Cookie. Baba, 1 second, there, Joe. Am I drop?
But sometimes you learn.
Hello. Hello, Cookie. The meeting hasn't started yet, but it's good that. Hello, Cookie. Baba, 1 second, there, Joe. Am I drop? Feedback. You are the one that is Cookie.
No, I'm just using
Hello,
probably here.
Started yet, but it's good that. Hello, Cookie. Okay, I think there's a feedback from YouTube. Am I dropping feedback?
You
are the one that is Cookie.
No, I'm just using probably here.
I need to. There's a feedback from. There's a feedback from YouTube. Feedback. The feedback. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, a ti ṣe àwọn kìíní ẹ sẹ́yìn, ó dẹ̀ ti tó. Ó ti tó. We paid our dues now, Baba. Ó ṣe wà nìyẹn. I need to change this backdrop. View. Show manage. Screenshot meeting. Hurricane máa fẹ́ lọ gbórí ẹ̀ dìde mẹ́ẹ̀. Hurricane yẹn máa chill ni. Hurricane will have to chill.
Chill. Okay, no, chill.
Chill. Èló lówó báyìí nísìnyí. Èló lówó. Dọ́là. $17.39. Ó wálẹ̀ díẹ̀. From 17.45.
It's a problem.
Ó wálẹ̀ díẹ̀.
Yeah. So, àdúrà náà.
Definitely. Ah, only webinar kan.
Okay. Leo,
Yes, sir.
on the video, and then let's test the split screen. Leo,
Yeah.
yeah, we just test driving this. I think my name should be there now.
Yeah. And so.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to try the split screen with the slides.
Yes, so it works at all. Your command and share. Yes. Yes, let's open share screen. So
Don't disable it all. You have disabled the split screen sharing.
this is it.
So go to you.
Yeah.
I don't think it's good.
Is there? That's the condition post.
Where's my
Deo?
Yeah.
It's looking out for something in life. Where your life is not that it's seeking at.
Ooh.
It's from our side.
It's on the outside.
It's from our side.
We're launching on YouTube. I've launched on YouTube. Shay, anybody that wants to come in on YouTube channel, can come in on YouTube channel. Apparently, Kemi is not, she's not settled. He hasn't read my mail. He hasn't read my WhatsApp.
Okay. I spoke to her yesterday night. She was asking me what is she supposed to do. It's like she's doing it for the first time. She doesn't know what. I tried to brief her, but I think it's too.
He's co-hosting.
Is how to take on this. So maybe let her rest, let her learn.
She was supposed to be
in
here. He wasn't.
That's your I am today. We can set the ball rolling.
So let me use your network. Okay. I'm using MTN.
Right. This one is also MTN. But it's what's going on? It's like I'm logged on to you. I didn't switch it on since yesterday.
This thing keeps popping up. It didn't change the logo, this YouTube logo. I'll just put it like this.
Turn up.
Yes,
Switch this fan off. And then we'll go on into Bluetooth on. And then personal sports on. No. Allow us to turn. Margin sensitivity. If you it gives, maybe it keeps switching.
I don't know why I didn't put this on my LinkedIn.
On your LinkedIn.
Application using my data. So that.
Okay, so can you restrict my data to, so I just leave it for only this? Okay. So we are good.
Yes, sir.
You disable that, you disable the screen sharing. No? I can't hear you.
Screen sharing. Okay.
Yes, you disabled it. I wanted to come in with screen sharing so that
disable. I'll just make you host. That's all.
Okay.
I'll give you co-host so you can share your screen.
Okay. So Bayo, you handle that.
What's the use all the posts become?
All right.
I've given you co-host.
All right.
When it gets to the time to share screen, I've given you co-host.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to be coming straight in with, okay. I will need to delete all the first before we share screen. You understand? I don't share screen immediately. Don't understand.
Sir? No, I don't. I'm trying to do something.
This your backdrop is not flying. No. It's blurring you.
I'm not there yet. What backdrop?
I didn't put anything. It's just this. Nothing.
What do you mean it's blurring me? I can't hear you. You are muted.
I mean, it's blurring your backdrop, your back. So when you, yes, that's okay if it blurs it, but when you move, you disappear from the screen. So you have to look for another one to use. I'm using the same thing. I'm blurring my background, but you notice that I'm still right there. You get?
I'm not blurring. We are not trying to blur anything, sir.
Okay. You want to
leave it the way it is, sir.
Okay. Well, if you can put him behind that that wall so that
Yes.
there's nothing distracting behind him.
Okay, there's a distraction. This brown stuff.
No, that brown thing is okay, but there's something green. I think it's a chair.
Okay, I'll take it out.
You remove that chair, then it'll be just fine. Yeah, it's good now. So nobody gets distracted with any image behind you.
Okay, okay.
Let me share this one. So, that's it.
Actually, even where this is important.
What's
This
this
one.
is the years I would.
If you put it too back, you understand, the background will change. If you put it too close, you just be focused on my face only.
So one this time. This is see the video you see them from and you can see what you're also doing. So let's say I want to share this one.
Alàgbà, tún wọlé mọ́ ni. Wọlé ni. Òun náà ni náà, ó wà lórí platform ATHCON.
Because you said you're going to send me the link, so I thought maybe there's another link. I don't know.
No, there's no other link. Just log in.
Are we ready now?
Yeah, we're ready.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so can you see my screen now?
Let's see your screen. Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, so it's good like that, right? Yes. All right, so that's fine.
Let me tell him I'm going to join this another thing so that I can monitor things.
No, what do you mean another phone?
My phone there.
You want him to join in. By joining, you're going to show what P-box.
I really know which.
Hmm.
Good afternoon, Mr. Musa. Mr. Alayinka Musa. Is he with us? Who is there?
Hello there. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. Thank you very much. Okay.
Loud and clear.
Very good. Femi.
Only I can't see you.
Oh,
I'm here, but you're not.
I should use a video.
Oh, most
Oh, yes,
definitely. Most
absolutely.
definitely.
Sorry.
The tradition, we need to teach our people how to use Zoom, virtual platforms. I don't know why it's different in this part of the world. It's supposed to be a real meeting where we see our faces, but we're always coming into Zoom and hiding our faces. Some of us are in the kitchen having lunch.
We are seeing your.
Sorry, Kilowi.
We are seeing your roof and everything apart from your. Okay. We are seeing your roof, your light, the light is behind you.
You need to blur your background. Or look for a place where you'll have a plain background so that nobody is distracted with your fan and your ceiling
and your roof
and your
behind your ears
and the food on your table.
You're extrapolating.
And the chicken coming from the kitchen.
I'll tell you. We got 7 minutes to go.
Yeah.
Better off?
Nothing has a delay.
If
Is it better off?
yeah, we don't mind seeing your all these your awards. Well,
Yeah, that's better.
awards.
What is that home?
Huh?
I'm hearing
From me?
maybe generator.
No, I'm not on Jane. For now, we're on NEPA.
Okay.
Are you still hearing it?
NEPA has decided to leave my neighborhood for the last 1 week.
Wonderful. Mm.
They visited us from Ibadan.
NEPA has never been in Ibadan. They only visit us once in a while.
Are you
Yeah,
not
this
in
is
Nigeria?
When NEPA visits you, you don't have electricity. That's what it means. Never expect power at all. That's the meaning of NEPA.
Mm.
I think they've
Either
changed
never
it.
expect power always or never expect power at all. The way they have visited us now is never expect power at all.
Oh,
At all, at all. At all, at all.
okay. That's not interesting.
I sent out this link to many people yesterday, and they registered online.
YouTube.
Yeah, I know that we're on YouTube. Mm. I know we're on YouTube. So
What's the matter with you? Are you okay?
who's there?
Who's there where?
You said I told somebody to say, "Are you okay?" He's okay.
Hey, no, I'm talking to one of my
Now you are looking at your left side, if I'm right.
yes, I have some people with me here.
Who's there?
That's some of
Oh, okay.
Who's there
his
where?
young entrepreneurs.
You said I told somebody to say, "Are you okay?" He's okay.
Hey, no, I'm talking I was just
Now
checking.
you are looking at your left side, if I'm right.
That's correct. That you just dropped off.
He's gonna come back.
Okay, Tunde's on.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm coming.
Somebody was trying to say that song is not scriptural. I said the person. All right. This phone, I think I have to reset it. And every 3 minutes, the screen is always just shutting down. Yeah, you could just come and help me do it so that because I want to be reading things. And once I don't touch it, it just. Yeah, call him to come and do it for me. It's always quickly in 2-3 minutes, it's already shut down.
I hope there are no feedbacks from anywhere.
No,
No, from here I'm good.
I can't hear any.
I hope there are no feedbacks
This
from
side I'm
anywhere.
good too.
I'm having a rebound.
No
Hearing you
feedbacks.
twice.
Okay, it was from YouTube, so I've silenced it from my end.
So, Bayo, you are on YouTube. You have to put it.
Can he hear? Ask him if he can hear us.
Can you hear? No, he's put it off. But it's YouTube on. You can hear. You can see what we're doing.
Well, help me find out if he can hear us.
Yes, he can. He can.
He can. Okay.
Yes, he can. Loud and clear.
Hmm.
It's 12 hours.
Hello. Hello.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to be sure you're here. You're there. Okay.
I'm here. Your name is saying Olatunde Olulu, you downloaded.
I don't know why you.
You can
Then
change, you can remove the
one
download.
download there. You do one download there.
Download the killer. Download.
I downloaded you from heaven. After you finish having the meeting, you can go back to heaven.
Hey.
Download today.
I'm not ready to do that now.
Downloaded from the next red. I
I don't know why.
Well, what?
Let me see if I can change that. Anyway.
Today has been downloaded, yo.
Oh God, you.
Oh my God.
Hmm.
Mrs. Ayodele Baba, I'm giving you hosting, so anybody that wants to come in, you let them in.
Okay.
I made you host.
Kemi, how are you doing?
Host.
I'm fine. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, darling.
I can free myself.
Good afternoon. Good
Good afternoon,
afternoon,
sir.
Kemi.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good to have you. It's good to have you on.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
I hear you very well.
All right, sir. Sorry, I won't be able to put up my video. I'm actually in transit. So when I'm settled, I'll put on my video.
No problem.
Can we start?
I think we can. It's 12 on the dot. Past 12 now, anyway. So.
Pastor, can we give people like 5 more minutes? Let's do 5 more minutes.
Okay.
Mhm. Sorry, give me a minute. I back something.
Aláfẹ́ṣe pàtẹ́gbé blue gbé jáde.
Kemi, you need to mute.
There's the butterfly that's just new to our house. Just came straight to the.
Okay, 5 minutes. I think we can start now. Good afternoon, everyone. Hello, can we all hear me?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
I welcome everyone to this maiden edition of our webinar, ATHCON, the Association of Tourism and Hospitality Consultants of Nigeria.
We need to see your face, please. You need to turn on your video.
I'm currently in transit.
It's in transit.
Yeah.
It's
Once
in
I come
transit.
down, I'll turn on my video. Come down. I'm actually moving around. So I'm trying to get a stable place to put on my video. So I welcome everyone once again.
Hello.
It's gone.
It is dropped off. Mr. Aluloye, please, over to you.
Good morning, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome you to this webinar. And this is being taken by the Association of Tourism and Hospitality Consultants in Nigeria. We felt that at a time like this, we need to start gearing up the community, the hospitality community, in the work of consultancy, consulting within the hospitality industry in Nigeria. And that's why we have put this webinar together. It's the first we're doing for this year, and it's free, so that we can have as many practitioners joining this webinar and being part of it. We are going to be spending some time here, maybe a 1 hour or thereabout, dealing with some issues that has to do with the basic foundations and basic principles of consulting within the hospitality industry. Yeah, we're aware that not everybody on this platform now are consultants, but we are hospitality practitioners that we should be able to know what it takes to run an hospitality outfit on a hotel in this regard for now, and even the tourist properties that we have within Nigeria. We want to start, we won't waste the time too much, by going into a part of this topic, which has to do with ethics within the consulting business in the hospitality industry. This one cuts across whether you're a consultant or not. It comes with what is required ethically for you to operate within the industry. And we'll deal with that just shortly. So I want to encourage every one of us to be attentive and take in as much as you can from this webinar. After the initial presentation, then we're going to have a discuss and answer questions that participants can want to ask us. So once again, you are welcome. I want to state basically here, what are we focused on? Our focus in ATHCON is to ensure standardization of operations within the hospitality industry in Nigeria. Without this, we're going to be having issues in terms of standard services to be offered, which will definitely affect the bottom line in terms of the investment. As a consultant, our work is to advise our clients. Our work also has to do with the guests, the guests that come to the hotel, and ensure that they have a very good experience that will make them to come back. And also the owners who has invested and expects to have a profit on his investment. So the work of consultant here is threefold. First of all, to the owner, to the guest, to make them have an experience that will make them to come back to the hotel. Then to the owner who has invested, and to the staff too, because the staff form part of the workforce in any hotel or society concern. So we'll be taking this one further after this webinar, and we'll deal with issues that will help us to understand what we need to do as consultants and even hotel managers, so that we can be sure that we are able to advise our clients, our guests, our investors, even the staff on the best way to operate hotels, not only in Nigeria, but to bring in international standards into our operations. Without wasting too much time, I want to invite one of our veterans who has been in this industry for over 40 years. And he'll be taking us on the ethics of consultancy, professional ethics of consultancy in Nigeria or anywhere in the world that is across the globe. So I want to please invite Mr. Femi Falibita, who is a fellow of the Association of Tourism and Tourism Consultants in Nigeria too. I also want to welcome one of the panelists, that's Mr. Dayo Adesugba, who has also been in the industry for over 40 years too. So Mr. Femi Falibita, welcome you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Dayo Adesugba, welcome you too. And I myself, my name is Olatunde Oluluyi, the national president of the Association of Tourism and Tourism Consultants in Nigeria. So let's get started. Let's get started and kick off on this webinar. Mr. Femi Falibita, please, can you come on and let's start it.
Thank you very much, my president, Olatunde Oluluyi. Thank you very much, sir. And I just want to welcome everybody on board. I will start by saying that this is going to be more of a dialogue between all of us present at this webinar, whether you are joining in by YouTube or through Zoom. It's going to be more of a dialogue. Let's hear ourselves. Let's hear what we are all about. I will start immediately by saying that consultancy, or for someone to say he is a consultant, step number one, you have to have experience. And for having experience, it means you have some basic qualifications. I mean, you have some education, you work with people, and then you have experience. You cannot consult in something that you do not have experience in. Just making those affirmations from the beginning so that we know where we are going. I took a look at the list of people that have registered, and I'm so happy that most of us that have registered have some form of experience. Very few are not experienced, and I'm happy about that. So I know I'm talking to people who have experience and some people that do not have experience. So it's going to be a mix. That's why we are having a dialogue. So it's important that we understand that we are coming to the table with experience. And when I talk about experience, I talk about you must have learned how to succeed, which is very, very interesting. And you must also have learned how to fail. I repeat, you must have learned how to succeed in your profession, and you must have learned how to fail. That is, you know, you failed before severally, and you've learned through those failures. And you've succeeded severally, and you've learned through those experiences where you have succeeded. So I'm going to go straight into, and I will share my screen. I will share the screen into what I call ethical consulting. Ethical consulting. Now, when we talk about ethical consulting, basically we are talking about ethics of the consulting business. And we'll be looking at it from the perspective of hospitality and tourism. We are going to share quickly the key secrets that drive consulting effectiveness. What is it that makes a consultant effective? Now, you see in the beginning, I said you need to have experience before you can call yourself or you can begin to engage as a consultant. Now, you experience, you are free when you're starting out as a consultant, maybe the first 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you are free to have a broad base. You can try your hands in different. For example, you are a hotel management consultant. You can go into HR, that is human resources. You can go into training. You can go into food and beverage operations, service, kitchen. You can go as broad as you want to be. But for you to be effective, you begin to narrow your focus and specialize. You must begin to narrow your focus and specialize. That's why the very first point on the slide, on this particular slide, is narrow focus and specialization. Same for tourism. You are going to be a consultant in the tourism trades. You can start, broadly, airline, transportation. You can go into tour operations. You can go into, packages, tour packages, and the rest of it. But at the end of the day, you have to narrow your focus and specialize. And I'll use myself as a practical example. Yes, I started out broad. I went through hotel management, and I went through all the ropes in operations, virtually all. I went through the management training system. But then when I started out, maybe I did that, I worked for close to 10 years in operations. And then finally, I came out being a consultant, broad-based consultant, but I found my niche in food and beverage, which is my area of specialization. So I began to narrow my focus and began to do mentoring and all manner of work, consulting work in my area of specialization. Why do I do that? When I specialize, it allows for deep expertise and predictable outcomes. When I get to a place, just by looking around, I can tell what's going on in there. By the way the tables have been set in the restaurant, I can tell what's going on. By the way the staff are standing in the restaurant, I can tell whether they had, adequate professional training or not. So I'm able to, to come in with deep expertise, and I can predict almost immediately outcomes. And now what does that do? Is that it enhances the client to trust my judgment, and of course, they believe in what I'm able to put on the table. I'll go on to the next one. Strong relationship and building rapport. Extremely important. Now, when we talk about strong relationships and building rapport, we are talking, it's actually very, very critical and crucial. Clients prefer working with consultants who genuinely care and listen. And I'm going to start with listening. We, as a consultant, we have this, temptation. You are tempted to get into a place as a consultant, and then, you're already running into conclusion because, like I said, someone like me, I go into a restaurant that I can already see, oh, look at the way they unfolded the napkins. Look at the way they've set the table. Look at the way they've done this. And then I begin to jump to conclusions. Rather than start running my mouth and telling them, no, this is wrong or that is wrong, learn to listen. Keep quiet. Develop a rapport first. Listen to what your client is saying. Take notes. There's nothing wrong in you already having assumptions and presumptions. That's fine. But don't quickly jump to conclusions and start talking. Develop what I call listening skills. Genuinely care for your client. And that's what they will see. When they see that this man is listening to us, he's not just coming up with, oh, I already know this place is being run shabbily. You don't have a general manager, blah, 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 blah. No. Just take it easy. What did I say? Take it easy. So build your rapport. Very, very important. Learn to listen to your client. And then the next one is effective time management. Very, very critical. Very, very critical. This is what consultants do. The ones that are successful, I can tell you one of the key things, for example, that I'll just use as an example, that I can open your hotel for you in 30 days. No, if you finish building it, no problem. In 30 days, I can do it. Are you sure? Have you plotted out what you need? Have you plotted out everything? Are you sure? Have you done it before in 30 days? Are you doing crash training or you are doing in-depth training? There's so much. So you have to be very, very careful when you have to be able to prioritize your tasks and put them, make sure that you have clarity in your objectives. And all these things must be detailed. I mean, we won't be able to speak more into the fine details today, but I'm just opening up. You see, the way to manage time is to put things down in writing. Of course, I mean, there are other better ways these days. There's the Gantt chart. You can do a Gantt chart. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Deliverables chart. And you put all these things down so that you are able to meet deadlines, and then you maintain clarity in your objectives right from the onset. Once your client sees that you are on that level, they begin to have trust in you, and they begin to develop some kind of relationship with you. So your time management, as well as your rapport, right from the onset, sets the professional table rolling, sets the thing rolling between you and your client. Respect starts from that. And the fourth one is continuous learning. Now, this I will not talk much about, because I believe that most of us here that are listening to me, you have been involved in one form of continuous learning or the other. But ATHCON, that is the Association of Tourism and Hospitality Consultants in Nigeria, one of our key trademark that you'll find when you join ATHCON is that there's going to be continuous learning put together by experts in different areas of the hospitality and tourism trade, so that we are empowered, and we stay updated on industry trends. We have to know problem solving. I mean, we have to enhance our own problem solving capabilities. You can remember you are a consultant because you are solving a problem. When you are engaged as a consultant, they see you, I mean, the client sees you as, this is God, a small God coming in to come and solve all my problems. Oh, you get what I'm saying? So that's it. For you to be that, then you must have capacity and you must have capability. And you must be able to provide valuable insight to our clients. Now, this habits foster sustainable consulting career, and it emphasizes client success and personal growth. Now, these 4 items is what is very, very important. And that's the secret. And I hope you will learn that today, or keep it somewhere, because we are still going to develop this as time goes on. That narrow focus and specialization, strong relationships and building rapport, effective time management and task prioritization, as well as continuous learning and updating your industry trends. That is, you get yourself updated on trends. For example, now, artificial intelligence is something that is coming up very, very strongly on our industry. How well updated are you on artificial intelligence and the use of it? So I'll go on to the next slide. What are the key ethical responsibilities of a consultant? We said we are talking about ethics. This is now where I'm going to kind of talk a little bit, and I'll give some practical examples. Confidentiality and protection of sensitive client information. You see, I put in, if you look at the slide, there's a scroll there, like the ancient scrolls, and there's a seal on that scroll. You must begin to see the information of your clients as a scroll with a seal on it. We have to learn confidentiality. It must be kept sealed, as in sealed. You have to protect your client information. Very, very sensitive. It's nothing that you can just talk about anyhow, or just release anyhow, or talk about anyhow. I'll give some of my own personal examples here. I won't mention the name of the company, so that I also don't fall foul of confidentiality. I walked into a particular this gentleman was trying to sell guest house, and of course he was trying to get a loan to be able to buy, capital goods and and invest in that business. But the bank wanted him to provide some certain things. And he confided in me that he did not have those, what the banks wanted. Yeah. So he wanted me as a consultant. Do you remember I told you that they look up to you, that what are you?
No, explain.
Somebody should make their phone there. Please. Thank you very much. Okay, so confidentiality presupposes that he gives me that information and I have to guide him how to get his loan, give him options of how he can get that loan without actually falling foul of the bank's requirements, but at the same time, not quite totally meeting the bank's requirements, but we find a way around it. So confidentiality maintains that I cannot go and give that information to the bank, because I am his consultant. So those are the kind of things. So you have to protect your client's sensitive information. Now, conflict of interest. When we talk about conflict of interest, very, very careful in Nigeria. Please allow me to say that I happen to travel out of Nigeria for most of my life, most of my working life. I came back some 6 years ago now, and I can confidently say that conflict of interest is one of our major problems, either personal conflict of interest or financial conflict of interest between consultants and clients. In fact, what happens is that clients tend to lure you into that, not you directly wanting a financial conflict of interest, but they lure you in, either through offering this and offering that. And I've been in a situation where an owner was offering, if possible, for me to come on board and become a board member. And, once we really like what you are doing, we want you to be see, once you allow that, you lose your credibility. Finish your job and clear out. If they really want you, they will come after you. But at that time, you have settled down, and believe me, you'll be able to take a proper decision. Either you want to dump your management consultancy and join this company or not, because you cannot do both. You cannot be a management consultant to the same company and also at the same time you're a member of their board. That is conflicting. So you have to be very, very careful with conflict of interest. We'll talk more about this as we go on. And then competence and transparency, showcasing technical expertise and underpinning knowledge. For you as a consultant, ladies and gentlemen, you must be competent. You have to know your technical skills like you know the palm of your hands. How do you serve food? From which side of the table do you serve food? Where are you coming from? What kind of service are you rendering? Is it Russian service? Is it American service? Is it French service? Is it British? You have to know it. You have to be competent. And you come in and you think you know everything, and one of the staff begins to correct you. That is very, very sad. And I've seen this happening. You have to be competent. And competence means that you've been doing it over time. That's why I said experience is very, very important. Don't finish school. And I hope maybe there are some of our people that have joined in that have just finished from the university. And then the first thing they want to do is I want to become a consultant. I'd rather say you go through a mentorship program. with a consultant, sign in with somebody who is already a consultant. Maybe in other clients, they will call them a level 4 consultant or a level 4 mentor, which is the highest which you can get to. You get in with a level 4 mentor or a level 4 consultant who will then take you on, maybe as a junior or a trainee consultant over a period of time. You cannot just jump in there and begin to, and that is why, for example, because we are not competent enough, there are so many people just holding briefcases and going around into hospitality industry around, and they say I'm a consultant because they worked, they've been a waiter or they've been a restaurant manager for a couple of maybe 1-2 years in one of the hotels, and then they've lost their job maybe due to COVID or something. So what do? I'm not a consultant. And they now go around and they create a lot of problems in the consultancy industry. Then you have to have underpinning knowledge. That means what you are doing practically, you must know the whys. Why am I doing it? Why am I serving from the right? Am I just doing it because, okay, I'm serving food from the right? That's the way they say we should do it. What is the underpinning knowledge? You should be able to know we are serving from the right for A, B, C, D reasons. And see, that begins to make you garner and get respect from your clients. You don't know the underpinning knowledge. You only know because you've been, you only know the technical skills, but you don't know what it takes or why you are doing it. Then you are not complete. And therefore, you cannot begin to say that you are a competent consultant. Now, let's quickly leave that. There's so many. I want us to discuss, like we said, we are going to dialogue on these things today. I'm opening the window. I'm opening the door. Let's come in and let's talk. The next one is integrity and honesty in all interactions. Now, when you talk about integrity, I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say here. We're talking about upholding integrity in all interactions. Represent your capability accurately. Let me give you an example. A client wants someone who can open his 20-bedroom guest house. Then you go and lie that, oh, no. I mean, I've done a 50-bedroom in Dubai. I've done 100-bedroom in Uyo, and I've done, you put yourself up in a situation where you cannot really, perform. You don't have integrity. That is lack of integrity. So now when you get on the job, you start struggling because you don't have it, but you've lied. So honesty in all interactions. Honesty to please, standing, we need to have, we need to purchase equipment, and they take you on as their, as their consultant. Now you go have a deal with the purveyor because you want to make a little bit on the side. That's lack of integrity. So the purveyor brings in a bain-marie, which is supposed to be for, just for this discussion, maybe it's supposed to be something like $500,000, a small, or maybe 1.5 million or 2 million. And then you say it's 10 million. No, that's the correct one because you want to get something. So integrity, honesty in all interactions. Immediately, your client finds out that you are dishonest, you lose credibility. That's it. Responsibility, that's the last one. Responsibility to avoid harm through adherence to global and local professional standards. There are global professional standards, and those are one of the things that ATHCON is going to be giving to all its members. We're going to be doing seminars so that you can understand what is the global standard, what is acceptable, what's the global safety standard, what's the global service standard, what's the global operational standard. You have to know it as a consultant. It must be right in front of you. You must know it. And so that you are able to take responsibility to avoid disruptions, harm, problems because you are unable to adhere to it, because you cannot adhere to what you don't know. And then at times we do shortcuts. You know, it doesn't really matter. You know, just store it in the fridge overnight. You know, although it says we have to store that in frozen, it won't get spoiled. By tomorrow we'll manage it. Consultant. It's not acceptable. So we have to ensure that our recommendations do not adversely affect the client or our stakeholders. We must adhere to ethical standards that prioritize the client welfare. So when we adhere to these principles, then we as consultants, we can build lasting relationships and enhance the credibility of the profession that we are very, very proud of. We'll go on to the next slide. And this is the very last one. I call it food for thought. If you look at that slide, you will see that there's a plate of pepper soup. I do hope it's pepper soup, because I am seeing some extra things that may not qualify to be pepper soup. Well, those of you that are in the culinary industry, forgive me. But next to that nice appetizing plate of pepper soup is a glass of beer, cold beer, that owners, especially in the hospitality industry, will use to gauge you. Practical example, you are asked to come and have a meeting with a client, and they say, meet us at lunchtime, 2 p.m. at our restaurant, and then we will meet you then we'll have a meeting afterwards. So you go there as a consultant and say, oh, yeah, welcome, sir, Mr. Consultant. Please take a seat. What would you like to have? We have this nice pepper soup. Bring it. Then they give you a big bowl of pepper soup. Then you adjust your tie and your stomach. And then they put a glass of cold beer. Oh, exactly. No, that's the one. In fact, I prefer what do you call it? Gouda.
Oh, trophy. Trophy.
Oh, trophy. I prefer trophy. And then you hammer one. And then you say, well, normally I drink one, but I always like putting my, let me use my second leg to hammer the ground. Then you take another one. And then now you go for a meeting. Meanwhile, the client is watching you on their CCTV, how you are licking your lips, showing that you are not very, very, you are not a man of character. So you got to be very careful. Yes, you may love your pepper soup. I don't have a problem with that. You may drink. I don't have a problem. But when you're on duty as a consultant, that does not come into play, especially when you are invited for your first meeting. If you are given to eating, make sure you eat from your home. Have your breakfast. Get in there. Then you say, would you like to have a plate of peppers? No, I'm good, sir. No, I'm good. Thank you so very much. That's looking, compliment it. That's looking very nice. I mean, I would have loved to have one. But right now, I'm busy. I think we should have our meeting first. Thank you very much. A glass of beer? No, sir. No, I think if you are feeling really thirsty, can I have a glass of water? I know, and don't drink the water as if you are coming from the Kalahari Desert and just go, just drink, with class, put it down. Then you go sit down. Thank you very much. That is it. So now, food for thought. I'll just roll through the food for thought, and then we are done. There's somebody trying. Sorry? Okay. So food for thought, these are the things we are going to talk about when we go into the dialogue section. Nepotism, hiring or promoting family members. You as a consultant, they give you a place to run. And then you go and bring all your relatives in there. Or you help the owner. You help the owner to because you want to, look good. Lara, don't you have, they just put them there. Nepotism, through and through, from the beginning to the end. Insider trading, you are using confidential information that you get there for your own personal commercial gain. I'll give you an example. For example, as a consultant, you are in there and you can see maybe, oh, these people, they want to buy new sets of TVs in the rooms. Then you are, the greed jumps in. Then you go and try and see I can do this, I'm a consultant, and, we know all these things. We can give you a better rate, Be careful. Be careful with that kind of thing. Let them call you. Let them come to you. Yeah, you see, you have to wait. Don't jump. Don't start jumping. Let them come to you. Say, sir, do you know anybody who can then, like that? It's more gracious. Not you jumping because of personal and commercial gain. Dual roles, serving as a consultant as well as a board of a competing organization. I think I mentioned that earlier on. Having dual roles where you'll be engaged as a consultant, and then they say, and then you have an opportunity to be on board of a competing organization, and then you join that one, and then you can't be confidential anymore because you are using information from your competitor that you are also consulting. That's very, very unethical. You can get sued, and you can actually lose. You can lose your license. By the way, ATHCON is going to be giving out licenses to consultants. We are going to be, when our guy, the president, and Mr. ATHCON, they'll talk more about that. Now, gift and favors from the client or his vendors, please avoid that by all means. Don't receive gifts. It's Christmas time, oh, the consultant, and then they carry hampers. They say they come to give you. No, don't accept it. Do not accept it. It's food for thought. We're going to talk about it. Should you accept it? Are there gifts that you can accept? Are there some that you cannot accept? All right. And then the other one is self-dealing. That is, the consultant is making recommendations to benefit him at the expense of the client. Very sad. A lot of people do it. They write a good thing, and then they recommend something that's going to benefit him. So there are many examples, but let me just end by saying, please, providing consulting services and then taking on employee contract roles. I've seen that happening a lot since I came back to Nigeria. Somebody will say, they will get in as a consultant, and then they will now start struggling to become the general manager. Do you get what I'm trying to say here? It's not on. Trying to take the employee contract role, and we are providing consulting services. Some of these things is because maybe economic situation, everybody is looking for a quick thing, but it does not go well for the consulting practice when we are into things like that. There is one that I did not put on food for thought, but I just, when I was doing these slides, I just said, maybe leave it. But let me just say it. That is dog eat dog. Consultants pulling down other consultants for gain. I've had one or two experiences since I came back with my partner, Mr. ATHCON, who is listening in. I'm sure he's saying, hey, okay. But it's true. Go do a job somewhere, you are in there, and then you suddenly find another consultant has been engaged by the client, and then you start wondering what's going on here. Dog eat dog. Those are the kind of things that we have to think about as consultants in Nigeria, in our hospitality industry, in the tourism industry. I will end by saying, of course, thank you for allowing me to speak to you briefly. I will just say we are just opening the door to discussions. When we get to business in ATHCON, you are going to be exposed to fine details of consultancy ethics, as well as finding, and that is the promise that ATHCON is bringing to you. Thank you very much.
You are muted. Mr. Lulo, you are muted.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Femi Falipita. for this expose, and I know that the participants are already taking notes. They're taking notes and imbibing these thoughts that we have already advised. Yes, we're going to be going to a discussion period, but I just want to say, for the benefit of doubt, that the work of a consultant basically is not to go to a property or offer service for a guest just to make money, or for a client to make money. Our work basically is to undertake projects, analyze situations. Where are you? Which location? Analyze situations within that property and that location, and provide expert advice to address various needs in that property. So it goes beyond just showing up and running around, put adverts for staffing. No. You need to sit down, analyze what you want to do. Like Mr. Falbita have said, write down, do your in-depth analysis. That's only when the client will know that you are serious, not just running around there doing nothing. And you provide expert advice to address various needs within the property, from staffing to menu to key things within the property, even as that seems insignificant, like even your garbage room. Where are you going to have it? What's going to happen with the garbage room? You think deep, collect data from competitions within that environment, propose solutions, and offer guidance to the client as an expert within the field. Only with this can you be successful, and you play your part within the industry. Now, what we want to do now is to ask questions, or you want some emphasis to be laid on what you have had. Kemi, are you there? Is Kemi back? No.
Not there.
No.
Okay. Sorry. Mr. Adesiba, please, can you help in taking this question and answer period?
Well, there's a question that I saw in the chat room.
Okay, let me see. I can see one.
Well, let me quickly add to what Mr. Falebita said. So for clarity's sake, because this is the inaugural webinar for ATHCON. I also see that a lot of those on ATHCON platform have not logged in, despite the fact that most of them or all of them profess to be consultants. ATHCON is the foremost association of tourism and hospitality consultants in Nigeria. ATHCON is also meant to serve as a regulatory body. Professionals have to regulate their practice, because Nigeria does not regulate practice. And that's why we have all manner of stuff, charlatans, substandard. Anybody comes in, there's no barrier to entry. You can get out of catering school today and you become a consultant. So in practice, regulators, practitioners, the association must self-regulate. The association doesn't self-regulate, then best practices that we are talking about or we want to talk about will be a non-starter, because there's nobody regulating. There are no standards. We are not observing global standard practices. We have not all agreed that this is the standard and we're all going to adhere to the standard. And if we don't adhere to the standards, there are consequences. Then there'll be chaos in the industry. And once there's chaos in the industry, it begins to affect the bottom line for each and every one of us. So we all have to agree that there's a set of standards that we want to practice, and we must see that this is regulated. I wanted to say that, and I wanted to say that what we're hearing this afternoon as the prime, or as the foundational, or let me say the first webinar for ATHCON, I want to say it's foundational. The best way to start is in the business of laying a foundation of what is right and what is wrong in consultancy practice. And that is what we're talking about, because we've seen all these things. Some of us have been either victims, or some of us have made these errors in the past. And because when you don't know what the errors are, the errors you are making, the gaps are, the tendency is that we continue to perpetrate this wrongdoing will be there. But once we say that this is the way it is done, and this is the way whereby we're going to have the best of the best in the industry, okay, and we all agree to it, then we know that foundationally, this is the way we need to build. So that's why we're starting with the issue of ethics and responsibility. Having said that, I want to say that every consultant should know, or let me say, I want to believe that we as consultants, we know that basically there are 5 phases of consulting. And each phase along the line, we'll be taking each phase as some form of workshop, some form of training, so that we can equip our consultants as we go ahead. First is entry and contracting. Second is discovery and dialogue. When you enter, you first of all enter into some kind of initial contact with your client, begin to talk about the project, and then you now begin to talk about your contract. There's a lot of gaps in this area. Most of us don't sign contracts. We just go ahead, blah, blah, blah. And then in the middle of a road, the client begins to mess up, and then there's a fight or there's a quarrel, and everybody to your tent, so Israel. At that point, the man is already owing you X amount of dollars. And then you know what's going to happen, especially in a place where they don't even, in an environment where there's no justice and nobody honors contracts. But at least there must be a point of reference, in terms of engagement, a type of contract that you sign to. So we're going to look at that over a period of training and workshops and things like that. Of course, we're going to look at phase 2, discovery and dialogue. We will look at the issue of feedback as we go along and the decision to act, because you don't just act based on the fact that the man has agreed in principle that you are going to be his consultant. And of course, as you move on, then there's the issue of engagement and implementation of what you have detailed. You are properly detailed in a proposal, in an SLA, a service level agreement that you are going to offer, and the obligation of the client back to you. And then in the 5th stage, we'll be discussing extensively on the issue of if you are going to extend the contract, or there will be a recycling, or there's a need to totally terminate the contract at that stage. And so this is going to possibly go through a period of the whole of next year, where we're going to create some kind of curriculum and some training for us to be able to build very, very strong, established management, hospitality, tourism and hospitality management consultants in the field. We're going to have our best, we're going to put our best foot forward. We have consultants that have been doing this work for a long period of time. We may have to get 1 or 2 that, you know, will help us look into certain areas that we're not so conversant with, particularly in the areas of accounting and things like that, that we're not so conversant with, lawyers on how to put together contracts and things like that, and so on and so forth. So having said that, I will say that welcome on board. Please, from now, let us begin to ginger up our members, that when we have this kind of forum, it will be good for all of us to be in here, so that we'll all be on the same page. It's very, very critical for us to be on the same page. We are in a state of flux. The system is in a state of flux in this country. Tourism is the most bastardized industry in Nigeria, and you know it. And a lot of our consultants are not making money. They're not feeding from this business. Meanwhile, we are supposed to be well remunerated for what we're doing. So thank you. Now, the question that came from the gentleman is providing consulting services and taking on employee contract roles. What is your position if the owner pressure the consultant to become the manager stroke MD? Well, I think it is clear. If you have a vision for management consulting in hospitality, it will be difficult for a client to sway you to become his MD or to become his general manager. That's number one.
It's 13 hours.
Then number two, most times when we concede to such offers, it's simply because we're not doing well financially as consultants, and we're not grounded enough. Even when you're not doing well financially, we are not grounded enough to say that I'm going to look at these things. This is more than bread and butter. This is more than the economic, challenges. I'm going to continue until I get a breakthrough in this management consulting business. And that is the reason why some will take a position as a manager or MD of a client pressures us to become managers or MD. But I'm sure my colleagues will have one or two things to say about that as we entertain more questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. ATHCON. Let me add just a little bit to what you just said in answer to the question that brother had asked. You are just, when you accept that offer to be an MD or CEO, whatever what they call it, as a consultant, it means you are not well grounded. And I can promise you that when you accept that, that same owner that offered you that position will mess you up. Because he knows that you don't even know what you want. He can't trust you. If you can do that, I'm sure in the next 6 months, he will feel that if you get another job, you will dump him. So you are not worthy to be trusted. And also when you come as a consultant, the work of a consultant is quite different from being an MD or a GM of a hotel. As a consultant, you are an expert in the field. And let me say this one. By next year, we'll go deep into these discussions. When you become a consultant in this industry, you are doing much more than just running around as a GM. You are going deeper into every area of the hotel operations. As a consultant, like Mr. Fabita has said, yes, he had to major and dig deep into food and beverage areas, but he has knowledge of every part of the hotel. Like those of us who are there today, we had the opportunity of having worked as employed as management trainees. We went through every part of the operation of the hotel, both rooms division, the food and beverage, the engineering, areas that you may even think, I'm an engineer. No, I'm not an engineer, but you must know what happens within your hotel. It's your hotel. And as a consultant, you are the one starting it up, you are the one operating it from the start, you are the one setting up the hotel. You must know what you want to set up. So you must have knowledge. Even in accounting, you should be able to read profit and loss, you should be able to read cash flow. And because this, although you're not an accountant, you're not a financial person, but you must be able to use this data for the management of the property. So you need to know how to read financial reports. You must be able to know what temperature you need from your engineering department for your rooms. A lot. You must be an all-rounder in it, not just to be a housekeeper and so you're a consultant. No. What of your beverages? What of your wines? Your menu? You must know. So when you have all this, nobody will come and tell you to become a CEO or come and be a GM of an hotel. So that's just throwing just one more point there so that we can also learn and know that you don't change gear just because of money or just because you get a property, you see somebody offers you money and you take it. It means you are not grounded and you're not supposed to be a consultant. Thank you. Mr. Elizabeth, please, what else Do we have anyone?
Well,
Let's
we're
have the
getting
question.
comments on YouTube.
Okay, please can you take that for us? I'm on YouTube here.
Mr. Lanrewaju Kayode, who is a fellow of the association, says the point is that there seems to be no clear-cut standards for becoming a consultant, hence cross-interest in operations. Many are still employees but claim to be consultants. He also said that there are also no specifications in consultancy focus, whether on the hotels or on human resources in hotels or operations or audit consultancy. I also want to add that we're beginning to get expertise in other areas of consultancy that we need to be trained. We're beginning to have associations and institutes and bodies that are willing to train us in these areas so we can sharpen our skills. I know that recently an association for hospitality consultants, for hospitality practitioners just started off. So I think we should begin to note these things so that we will get the necessary skills, build the necessary skills in consulting practice. And of course, Mr. Falebita mentioned the issue of experience. When I started consulting in the mid-90s, I didn't just jump into consultancy. I started by working with one of the donors of our industry, Mr. Sheni Oduyoye, and I got employed in his organization as an associate consultant. And I worked with him for about 5 years before I began to consult myself. And he taught me a whole lot of things. He taught me reporting, taught me things like scheduling, taught me a consultant that does not know Gantt charts. You really need to come, to come into our workshops and our training in the new year. Every consultant must be able to develop their task outlines, milestones, and things like that, and baselines and stuff like it's very, very important. I use Project Office X for my timeline. There's Microsoft Project. You must have some bit of project management, some knowledge of project management. And so these are some of the things that we're offering in the new year. So I just said it's important for us to, at this point, within the next 6 months to 1 year, everyone under the umbrella of ATHCON must be very, very adept at this business of consulting so that we begin to establish ourselves inside of the industry in Nigeria. A lot of charlatans are taking over our work. They're taking over our work, especially in tourism. If you find out now, since the tourism minister exited, it's as if we are going back to where we began. We took over from. So we have to be sure that at the end of it, we present ourselves as the best of the best in this business. Thank you.
Somebody just, let me see, Mr. Toju asked or made a comment on Gantt chart, knowledge of project management. A Gantt chart, when you go into hotel consulting projects, you have what you may call your roadmap. The Gantt chart will tell you, you do your tasks, when to be done, how to be done, with specific dates of completion, starting at completion. It tells you everything that you will do that you give to your client. Your client can also look at it and look at the deliverables before you even start at all. By your client sees what you have done, your Gantt chart, he knows, yes, this one is serious. He knows what you are doing. You're not just doing by the whim of your whims and caprices. Gantt chart is deeper. You sit down and work it out, design it, and that follows you from beginning to the end. In a short, we'll go into that one by next year when we start dealing with specific issues within the hospitality consulting business. Sorry, do you have another one? Any other comments on YouTube? Is that as well?
YouTube. No, we don't have any other comments on YouTube. It's just been greetings, greetings, greetings.
Okay. Mr. Adus, well, let me just ask this question. Let me ask, you've been in this industry for some years, and thank God we started from the same year and ended and went through a lot. What will you want to say to those aspiring to become consultants within the industry? And yes, we've talked about the ethics, but what more will you, as a mentor, say or advise to help those who want to go into hospitality consulting? Just in a nutshell.
The first thing about, let me take myself as an example. The first thing is to have passion for the industry. That's very foundational. Because in the difficult days, that's what's going to keep you. Be sure that this is what you are cut out to do with your life. Not just beyond putting bread and butter on the table. Be sure and be sure and be sure. And have some kind of support structure around you that when push comes to shove, you're not going to jump off the boat. Passion is very, very critical. And when I say passion, I'm talking passion to be hospitable. Because the business of being hospitable comes with certain technical skills, both interpersonal skills, okay, and interpersonal skills and technical skills, interpersonal skills and technical skills. Passion is driven from those two ends, but it begins from you first and foremost, knowing that this is what you want to do with your life. It's always geared towards being hospitable, towards caring. If you're not someone that will want to care for somebody else, despite the circumstances you have to deal with, it may not be the work for you. You may have to go and look for something else to do. But in the business of caring, okay, you'll have passion to care, you're passionate about caring. In the business of being passionate about caring, your livelihood is sure, is always sure. So that's what's been my own driving force that has driven me in this business. And of course, like I said earlier on, acquire the technical skills, the technical knowledge, which we've talked about, and of course, the interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills, know how to manage humans. Humans are beginning to become very, very difficult. When I say difficult, very, very difficult. Know how to manage humans. That means you must have a very long rope. I mean, you must be extremely, extraneously patient. Emotional intelligence in our business is much more critical and important than intelligent quotients. EQ is more important than IQ in our business. Yes, you must have a standard, a basic level of IQ, but EQ is much more important. You must be emotionally stable. And those are the keys to success in this industry for me. Thank you. You're muted, sir.
Okay.
Let me come back to you, Mr. Falibita. What additional advice would you give to, in a very short sentence, what additional advice will you give to consultants that are in it already and those who want to become consultants in terms of ethics or other areas that they need to work upon before they can actually be said to be a consultant?
All right, no, thank you very much, sir. I'm just looking at the live chat on YouTube, and this is interesting because that's where Mr. Victor Kayode just mentioned something that there are also. All right, I will just read them quickly. He said there are also no specifications in
It's breaking. You are breaking.
Focus consultancy.
You
The
broke
same
off.
thing
You
we've been
broke off.
Am I breaking?
Yes, you are breaking.
Well, we can hear you now.
Okay, can you? I'm still breaking now.
We can hear
No,
you
you
now.
are good now.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Please go ahead.
All right. All right. Victor, I say Victor Larewaju Kayode said there are no specifications in consultancy focus. I think he was just trying to show that people are not focused in hotels, operations, or audit consultancy, that people just try. I mean, a lot of people just do everything, you know, there's no focus. So we have said, you remember in my presentation, that I said there is a need. In fact, it was the very first thing. You want to show me a consultant that is successful, and I will show you a consultant that has narrowed down his focus and has specialized. We can't just know everything. Yes, you should know everything. But when you are consulting, you must.
It's breaking off. It's breaking off. I think what is trying
let
to
your client know your. Can I just finish, please?
Yeah, you broke off momentarily, but go on. You said when you are consulting and then you broke off. It's connections.
Yeah. Okay. Could you read to us, Dio,
yeah, I think I read it before. I read it at one point.
The executive secretary of
it again. It said there are also no specifications in consultancy focus, whether on the hotels or on human resources in hotels or operations or audit consultancy. That's what he wanted to comment on. Is he back?
Right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Rather than have dog eat dog syndrome, we should have collaborations. Specialization encourages collaboration between consultants, because I can collaborate with one of my colleagues who is good in HR and work on the same project, while I deliver on F&B, he can deliver on HR. And that is the beauty of consultancy, collaborations and networking. And this is something we need to work on. I just wanted to emphasize that. And then Florence Oyelade, it says she's asking for structures in regional offices. And then, of course, she also mentioned that there's quackery in the hospitality and tourism management consulting space, and that this is heartbreaking. I agree with you, my dear sister. There are a lot of quacks. There are a lot of quacks in the industry. And that is why ATHCON is coming in. We want to put credibility back into consultancy for hospitality and tourism in Nigeria. And the way to do that is to self-regulate. Nobody is going to come and regulate us. When we are able to regulate ourselves and we put, professionalism in front of us as our watchword and as our banner, then we know what we are doing. Of course, let me just dare say this, that consultancy is not for everybody. We don't need crowds in consultancy. It's not about having a lot of people who are consultants, but it's rather about quality. We have quality people who are into consulting and who are able to deliver. That is what it is about. So, of course, the more the merrier. The more quality we have, the merrier for us. But what I'm trying to say is that we should not be pushing for large numbers to the detriment of quality. I would want to just suggest that when we are doing this, when ATHCON is when we are on the ground, we should push qualitative, quality. And then Lawumi Popo said, true, the power of collaboration can be emphasized. Yes, you cannot. Collaboration is the way your specialization. Now, you see, as a consultant, you must know in depth one particular area, which is your niche. That doesn't mean that you cannot do others. But when you are delivering, when you now have your deliverables, you bring in other people, other dogs. Instead of eating the other dog, let the dogs collaborate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Femi Falibita. May I also add that within the hospitality industry, we have other professionals, consultants from other professions that are very much important to the hospitality industry, like a legal, for example. I know that within the MBA, they have a hospitality section where they have a legal table within the association also to help and collaborate with the hospitality industry. We can't do everything like Mr. Falibita has said, but you must be on top of what you're doing. You must be able to analyze a project and decide you want to do it. And let me say this also, it's not all projects that consultants want to do. There are some projects you want to do. You look at, when you do your analysis, look at your location, look at the parameters surrounding that project. There are many projects that I've already turned down. I said, no, I won't do this because I see that the kind of client will not abide by our propositions and problem solving answers we give to him. And we say, no, we don't want to do it. It's not about money. It's about credibility, to be credible, to have integrity. Many of us, let me say, not within this ATHCON, but those who are aspiring to become consultants, they don't have integrity. It's just about money. It's just about, I want to make this one. We tell the clients, I will do this. Like we did a project somewhere in let me say, Delta State. And a consultant had told the client, oh, we can open this hotel for you in 30 days. That person lacks integrity because it's not true. You have to think about your time for hiring your staff, for staffing and all that, interviews, all that, setting up every department, training. And you're telling the client you can do it for one month, 30 days. It's not possible. A brand new hotel is not one that is already on operation. So we also must have integrity. It's what we at ATHCON hold very, very, very dearly. Hold it very dearly. So face your areas of expertise and work together with other consultants, and you will see that you have a very beautiful project at the end of the day when the hotel is open, and you have a lot of references from the client also, which will also help that client to achieve its own of profitability within the hotel industry, within that property that he owns. So thank you very much. Do you have any other? Yes, please, Mr. Go ahead.
Okay, please, just a quick one too. In other claims, and I think this is something that ATHCON will also look at. When I say other claims, even in Africa, in some places that I've worked in Africa, there are pay structure for particular types or particular schemes of work in consulting. When you offer government consultancy, there are pay structures for it. You don't have to, as a level so and so consultant, there is a structure. Also, when you also work for private, if you go, if you do, what people call, you go and dive, they call it docking and diving. Instead of, for example, you are supposed to charge, let's say, $10,000 for a piece of work, but because you are broke and you want to just cut corners, then you just say, no, I can do it for $2,000. You can actually lose your license. You can lose your license for that. And especially if it's found out. So there are things that ATHCON, and I'm sure this is being looked at in the disciplinary function of ATHCON to ensure that, that jobs, that people get paid their worth for the jobs that they do, for the contracts that they do. unfortunately, like Dayo mentioned, the whole situation in Nigeria is in a state of free flux. I mean, I can't understand it. Everything is just like, anybody can come in and just say, there's a job for 30,000 US dollars, and then somebody can say, I can do it for 3,000 US dollars. And of course, they get the job, they can perform, they mess it up, and then it goes around that, oh, consultants, they are no good, and it's very sad. And that's the situation we find ourselves. So ATHCON has a responsibility, and I believe that with the current set of activity that I begin to see in ATHCON, that ATHCON will be able to look at all these kind of things so that that things are structured for God's sake for the first time in our country, so that we in Nigeria can also stand in the community of nations that know we are like this in Nigeria, and when we are benchmarking, and people can also come and benchmark against what we are doing in Nigeria. And I will just end like this. In the country, very, very recently, there's a country that have just gotten their new government sworn in. A 26-year-old lady is a minister, 26-year-old minister of youth and gender affairs. And when that young lady was talking, she made a speech. I mean, I was surprised. She said something. She said, I've gotten to this place because I did something. I invested. What did she invest in? She said, I invested in my passion. Like Ade should have said, I invested. She's a lawyer by profession, but she did not invest. Of course, she got her degree, but she said she invested in her passion. She's a beauty queen. She invested in her passion. She invested in herself, the way she carried herself, and then she said she invested in integrity. Wonderful. Those are the secrets to success, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr.
Adesugba, please, can we have your last or your capping word on this webinar before we call it to a close?
Yeah, there's just one quick comment that is, there's some few comments that are popping up on YouTube.
Okay.
There's a comment about partnering with Bank of Industry to ensure investors in the hospitality sector are guided accordingly. This is a major challenge. I think after the next induction, which should be first quarter of 2025, we'll have a much more structured department that can engage government. Because if you look at the objectives of ATHCON, one of the objectives of ATHCON is to engage government with regards to our having an environment that will favor us when it comes to dealing with the public, with government. So I want to say that by next year, we'll be able to engage government and, of course, BOI. I know BOI are now empowering organizations with loans, soft loans at 9%, 8% on a yearly basis. I'm very much aware of that. As a matter of fact, some small businesses can access about $1 million, depending on what they want to do. Equipment procurement from 10 million right now with BOI. So along the line, we will definitely begin to interact with these government officials. So that's that about that. Yes, to conclude, I want to say that the next webinar is going to be in January, which will be preparatory to our next induction. We know we already have some members, and many of them have been asking, what's the way forward? We're too quiet, we're not out there influencing things and doing what we were supposed to be doing. I want to say that that period is coming to an end. In the new year, we have identified a team yet to be inaugurated They'll be working behind the shadows, behind the scenes, and we'll begin to see a lot of activity that will take us, a lot of activities that will definitely begin to add value to ATHCON members. I want to say that if you have not been inducted, or if you are not on the platform, there's an ATHCON platform right now. You need to get on the platform because inductees are going to be picked and chosen from that particular platform where you'll get to know a lot of information. So if you are not on that platform, the ATHCON platform, please pop into the chat room here on this platform and let us know that I'm not part of that platform. Give us your phone number. It's a WhatsApp platform so that we can add you, so that you can get information as the next induction. And of course, issues having to do with subscriptions, even issues having to do with training, issues having to do with workshops, and a whole lot of things, and the objectives and goals of ATHCON that is definitely going to benefit us all together. And finally, note that one of the challenges we have is that when we deal with clients, is either we don't get properly remunerated and we have to negotiate, and at very low, we get low fees for our efforts, and that affects us, that we have to compromise. One of the objectives of ATHCON is to have projects, legacy projects that we all buy into. Legacy projects, you put in a little money, it's not, it's going to be a project, a legacy project. We want to say that we are consultants, and this is the template that is on ground for other people to come and see that we really know what we're doing. And we've been doing it for a considerable number of years. So those are some of the things that once you have revenue or you have income coming in from one end, then you don't have to compromise on your fees, because at one point there'll be a recommended fee structure that ATHCON is going to present to members, that you shouldn't be charging below this for your work. You should, whether you're going to be charging per hour, whether you're going to be charging your rates, I don't know, some form of structure is going to be recommended for ATHCON members to work with. So that's my own final summation. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adesua, the Vice President of ATHCON. As a party note from me, I would say that ATHCON is not meant for everybody. ATHCON is meant for those who have integrity, those who want to make a difference within the consulting business in Nigeria. And we have a bit of stringent conditions to be met before you can become a member of ATHCON, maybe as a member, which you have developed into being a fellow later based on what performances you have made. But we welcome as many as wants to also learn and become a consultant within the consulting industry in Nigeria, saying that, like the Vice President have said, Mr. Adesua, you can join the platform, and from the platform, you have information on what next to do or how you can go about being a member of the association. But like I said, it's not going to be for all and sundry. It's meant for the serious ones and those who have paid their dues within the industry and are ready to make the mark. Thank you very much. Before we go, I think there's a comment. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. That's Mr. Zuba. God bless you all. The process of becoming training consultants at ATHCON member, please. Yes, please join this. That's Oluwande Towoju. After this webinar, please get in touch with any of the numbers that you have with ATHCON executives, and or how you got to know about this webinar. Contact that number, and we'll find a way to put you on the platform. And from there, you can have all the processes that are required for you to become a member of ATHCON. Being on the platform does not make you a consultant, but you have information and direction on what to do and how to be part of us. I want to thank you for those who have had the time to join us on this first inaugural webinar of ATHCON. And we look forward for you to join us in subsequent ones that will be coming, within which you also learn and develop yourself within the consultancy arm of austerity business. Thank you very much. God bless you. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Welcome. And also thank you to Mr. Dayo Adesigba, the Vice President of ATHCON, and also Mr. Femi Falibita, a veteran and an executive and board member of ATHCON. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Peace, love, and happiness.
Mhm. Yeah, like, can you end it?
Yeah, I wanted to take some numbers.
Okay, for those
That they
who
won't
are
disappear.
given their
Yeah.
phone numbers and their email addresses. Okay.
Yes. Just
Thank you.
wanted to. Once I log off, those numbers will disappear into somewhere I won't be able to retrieve.
But are we not recording it?
Yes, I am.
Mhm.
I want to make it a bit easy.
Okay.
98299 and 0816 0694 94908. Okay. Bye.